Hey everybody, and thanks for watching Woodcrest Bonsai. In this video I'm going to work on this Procumbens Nana. And like all the rest, it was purchased as a landscape plant in a 3-gallon pot in the fall of 2022. It was root pruned and repotted in January of 2023. And then it has just been grown on. And this tree has a pretty nice form. If we look in there and we take away some of the branching that's hiding the trunk, you'll see that it has a nice trunk, has nice lines. It's interesting because it has 100% mature foliage, except for this little tiny bit on the end here, these over here. So I'm going to remove that juvenile growth. Everywhere I find it. And there's another little chunk of it over here. Okay, and so now my vision for this tree is this is going to be the first main branch right here, and it kind of splits into two. And then we have this one right here, which I don't think we need at all. So I'm going to turn that into gin. Like that. I'm also going to get rid of this little piece right here. Really open up the and we have a couple of pieces of old gin where a branch just died. That's all kind of brown and nasty, which can probably be rectified with some lime sulfur. And me and the camera, we have a love affair. I keep knocking into it. So there we go. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice movement. But what I want to do is I want to bring this apex up like this. And give it even more of a curve. And then use one of these little guys up here as the new apex. This part I'm going to save now, and in the end of February I'm going to take cuttings. So that's really, and except for cleaning out some of the smaller stuff that's in here that we don't need, that's really going to be about it. And then of course repot it. So I've got my piece of wire. I'm going to turn it so I can see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to wrap it around about twice around the main trunk. Oh, you know, I totally forgot. I was going to show you something else. I completely forgot. So let me finish the wiring and then I will show you. Okay, then bring it up into here. And then actually begin wiring the branch that I want to bend. And since I'm not going way out here and trying to do bending out here, I only need a few inches of wire to come up on this branch. Okay, and then let's bring it up. Alright, that looks pretty good. So now, the future of this tree is to take all this off like this and have one of these little tufts become the apex. This could also be a piece of gin. But one thing I wanted to show you was that this could also be a very interesting trunk. And look, I've crushed a branch in the wire. But this could make a very interesting front too. It really could. But right now I'm going to go with the other piece as the front. And I'm not an instant bonsai kind of guy. And I think I may have used wire that was a little bit too thin, because it's really not doing what I want. But there's always tomorrow. So for now, just going to leave it as I mess with it again. Now there's two ways to change that. One is to go get yet another piece of wire and keep this one on here, wrap it around, which will double up the strength, or totally remove this wire and go get heavy duty wire that will actually do what I want. But I don't think that's so bad, actually. So we're going to keep it like that for now. And then the rest of it is just root pruning and repotting. And I brought a whole bunch of tools out here except for my root hook, so pause. Okay. Gonna move the rest of my tools here. Got my 1 gallon bucket of nice new soil. It is anchored into the pot, although not that much, that's for sure. So pull that wire out of there before we do anything. And it's got the plastic screen still in place, so don't have to do anything with that. I'm going to use the same pot. And it's got a lot of weeds, and most of this is oxalis, and almost everything I have, doesn't matter what it is, flowers, my garden, my pre-bonsai, regular bonsai, they all have oxalis. This stuff is just everywhere. So now let's take a look at the roots. Pretty nice. This is 2 years. And it's all in a landscape mix. So the next step is to get my root hook and begin removing. Usually you want to do about the outer third, or maybe the outer half when you do a root pruning. It depends on the tree, it depends on the tree's health. Of course, I would never root prune an unhealthy tree. That's just like asking for it. My philosophy on root pruning is do the really heavy-duty root pruning, which I did on this tree. I mean, it was in a 3-gallon pot. So, 3-gallon pot is 12 inches high and 12 inches across. So the initial root pruning was pretty heavy-duty. And so now, grab my scissors and just begin removing all the stuff that I've loosened up. Normally you don't try to mess with the bottom. And hopefully most of the root pruning process got rid of the oxalis, although it'll be right back. This stuff is just everywhere. And well, that's just the way of the world. Now I've noticed it has this really weird root right here that I never even saw, which is interesting. So on the front, there it is. I'm going to keep it for now. And this tree does have a little bit of reverse taper down in here. The guy that grows these, or used to because he went out of business, just because he retired, not because he had to. A lot of times they root these things, and a lot of different trees that he grows, in a piece of foam. Because, they're not growing them for bonsai, they're just growing them for the landscape. You root it in the foam. When the foam gets filled with roots, you pot it into a 1 gallon. These were inadvertently potted into a 3 gallon, which is why I purchased them, because he really didn't grow 3 gallons. I think I'm going to cut some of this off here, since most of it's dead anyway. And so there we go. Get it back into the pot. What is that? Who knows? Oh, it's an old acorn. Pretty weird. And I want to raise this guy up a little bit than what it was, so I'm going to give it a little bit more on the bottom. And so far, knock on wood, I've had success using my landscape mix to grow these guys. And the vast majority of them are also in mica pots, which tend to retain water a little better. And I'm now going to go get my scoop. I have scoops and I never use them, so I'm going to go get one. Positive proof that I do own scoops. And they all nest with each other. So anyway, let's start getting the soil around the roots. And man, I'm so absent-minded because I forgot my chopstick too. Can't take me anywhere. Of course, that's not a bad idea because I don't go anywhere. I'm pretty much here doing YouTube videos. I am actually, I don't hate to admit it, but I'm a recluse. I rarely go out at all. I used to do ballroom dancing. I used to do something called English country dancing. I used to do all kind of stuff socially. And now I don't do much of anything. And it's all by choice. I'm not lamenting like, I can't do it, because I could go ballroom dancing anytime I want. I know where the places are. There we go. And the old soil on this one didn't seem so degraded as the others. And why that is anybody's guess. Really not quite sure. With our alternate front and this strange root that I never even saw in the beginning. But I don't think it really detracts from the whole design of the tree. So there we go. So we've got our first main branch, our second main branch. Up in here, probably like this guy right here, will be the apex, the new apex. So the tree will come up into here and have more curves. And I have to admit that I didn't get this main trunk as straight as I wanted. But I can always do that at a later date. And then all this crazy growth here, if we bring it here, that's all going to go. Going to take cuttings, and your best cuttings, if we can just go there for a second, your best cuttings with a lot of plants is called half hard wood. So you see here it's all real green, and then back here it's brown, but there's a place where it's transitioning from the green to the brown, and that's where you take the cutting. You take the cutting at the half-hard wood as it's hardening from green to brown, but it hasn't quite finished. That's the best place to take cuttings. So that will be the end of February. And I forget who it was, so I'm sorry. I apologize that I don't remember your name. But it's another YouTuber who does bonsai, but who lives in Australia. And he was talking about he takes cuttings at the end of August. Of course, they're in winter. Their winter starts the 1st of June. So the end of August is, if you extrapolate to the northern hemisphere, our winter begins. Did I say 1st of June? I didn't mean that. It's the 21st of June. So our winter starts the 21st of January. So then you need to add 2.5 months. So taking cuttings in the southern hemisphere at the end of August is the same as taking cuttings in the northern hemisphere at the end of February. So that's when I'm going to do it. I've tried to take cuttings when they're dormant like this, and I didn't get much luck. I have some peaked little cuttings that are growing, but they ain't done much. And actually, I should feature some of those guys. And now we see this tuft of foliage here is all way too heavy. And if I was going to truly style this tree, trick it all out, I would take the cutting, make the gin, and then wire all of this flat. Wire the back branch flat. Remove some more foliage up here to really accentuate the apex. But now that it's root pruned, one of my philosophies on bonsai is not to do too much drastic work at once. Because, once again, bonsai is a combination of artistry and horticulture. And you must follow the horticulture, or else you won't be doing any artistry. Because my experience has been that it's really, really hard to style a dead tree. Unless you want to do a tanuki, but that's not part of this discussion. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the notification bell, and you can watch this guy continue. I will take the cutting at the end. I was going to say August, at the end of February. And then I'll probably do more of the major work later on in the spring. Let it root in, let it get solid. You can see it's quite loose, and of course that's to be expected. So let it root in, get a little healthier, and then I can do some more detailed work to get this guy looking much, much better. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video.